Okay, so these first two charms that I'm showing you are from Pandora's Disney collection. They are the Rapunzel and Ariel dress dangle charms. Um, and these are obviously counterfeit. The first thing that you're going to notice is how bright silver they are. They look really glossy and very, very light silver. So that's the first thing that's going to kind of flag you. The letters are not dark at all. They're not darkened in, and I don't know what's going on right there. It also looks like they almost tried to emulate coils here, but it just didn't quite work. So these are not very good fakes. And also the big telltale for me is always to the inside. If it is authentic, it's going to be like a darker matte color. And this glossy, shiny, like aluminum foil looking is definitely not authentic. You can kind of see it there a little bit better. Okay, so this one is another Rapunzel dangle charm that is a little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit better of a counterfeit than the previous one. You can see that the letters at least are darkened in on the Disney Hallmark stamp. But still the coils are not quite right, and again, inside the dress is not, it's hard to see from this angle, but it looks just like that one. So this next one is an Elsa from Frozen, and this one is one of the better ones that I've seen. The letters are definitely darker and more defined, and it does not look like real shiny inside. You can kind of see the coils there. However, the best thing to do when you are trying to figure out if your jewelry is authentic with Pandora is to look up a stock photo, because 9 times out of 10 you're not going to have another real one, right there that you bought in store or whatever. So looking at the stock photo, when you do that and you're Googling it, make sure that you are on a Pandora website. It should say .net at the end of it, pandora.net. Places like Jared and Reed's Jewelers, I think, have them too. But Pandora is usually where I go if I can find it there. Even if you don't know the style number, just keep typing in, until you find something that pulls up, and it'll pull up. You might have to search through a little bit for some of them. These are not too hard. So the noticeable thing to me about the Elsa was that the real one is a much lighter green. This one is almost like a teal color, and the authentic one is not. It's a really pretty light blue color. And then the back of it has like.
I'm sorry, I had booger.
Okay, so I think my husband's over his whatever that was he was doing. Anyways, so okay, this is the Elsa, and again, it's a lighter.
Do you want to do the snowman? Are you really recording?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. Can you read? Okay.
3. Anyway, that's the Elsa. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of Murano beads. Those can be harder to tell sometimes, and sometimes not so much. So this little thing right here, I just had it. The first thing I noticed about it was like the rhinestones, which I've never seen a Pandora charm that has like big rhinestones on it like that. There's not to say there might be one. I've just never seen one. And that's not a great picture, and I don't know how well this is going to focus, but they're just like very sloppily thrown on there. They're not kind of in line and stuff like that. But anyways, and it's also very lightly colored. Something else that you might notice is it does not have the S in front of the 925. That is not necessarily a definitive factor. Some of the older Murano beads do not, or the older Murano beads do not. They started doing that a few years ago. So that doesn't necessarily mean that, that it's not real. I have, well, for example, like this is the Cinderella. and it does have the, the S925. This one's a little bit different just because it has Disney on the back. Most of them are going to say Pandora. They'll say Pandora all the way around them. And then the S925 and the ALE will be on the back. But there are some older ones. Here's an older one. This one does not have the S on it. It's still authentic. It's just an older charm. So that's something to kind of look out for, but that's not necessarily to say that it's not an authentic charm. So this one, this little purple guy is, I mean, it's sort of like trying to pass as a Pandora bead, but it's not technically illegal. It's not illegal because it's not hallmarked or stamped Pandora. 925 just means silver, which, looking at the quality, I'm going to go with that's not silver. But anyways, okay, so these three right here, these are hard. So see if you can look at it for a second and see if you can tell which one is not authentic. If you look at them from this angle right here, you can tell that, first of all, the one in the middle is a little bit smaller than the other two. That's the first thing that I kind of noticed. If you zoom in on it, now the fact that it's a little bit smaller does not always mean that it's counterfeit, because Pandora Murano beads are Italian glass and they're hand blown. So every bead is like a teeny tiny bit differently because they are handmade. And so they're all gonna, even if it's not really discernible from like the naked eye, they are still all a teeny bit different. But you can see these three and the detail that's in the outer two. And then this one right here is not very detailed. It's very simple. It's not crisp and clear at all like the other two. And there's another sort of picture of that. You can also see when you hold them up that the Pandora hallmark stamps are lighter in color. They're not dark and almost blackened like these. And that the inside of it, while it does have the coils, it is a much lighter color than these two. So, and there's not a lot of difference in the markings. So that's, they did good on that. So anyways, I hope this helped some of you guys be able to tell the difference between the authentic and the counterfeit Pandora jewelry. And my suggestion is always to look at a stock photo, because I've seen some that are even better than the Elsa that I showed you that are really convincing. However, they can get stuck on your bracelet, which will ruin your bracelet. So just be aware of that. And also don't be cheated out of your money, because if you pay for a quality item, you don't want crap. So thank you guys for watching my video. If you want to see more like this, like and subscribe, and have a wonderful afternoon.